What's going on, Jerome's? Happy Thursday. We got 5 bold proclamations about the Minnesota Vikings. Some of them are spicy. Es muy caliente. Let's go. Number 1. Otomewo, the rookie 5th-round pick, former University of Minnesota Golden Gopher, he needs more reps. Now, he's been active the last 2 games after being inactive for the first 13. He had 11 snaps on defense against the Lions, played pretty well, played 14 against Indianapolis on defense, got a pressure, got a tackle, and Kevin O'Connell shouted out his hustle as sort of a, hey, you need to be more like Osaze, right? And played mostly defensive tackle, so getting inside, and the Vikings, as the defensive line needs more pressure from the interior, right? As good as Harrison Phillips and Diesel Dalvin Thompson has been, you just need someone who can get on the field and just get after the quarterback, blow up an A or B gap, and Osaze, I think, could be that guy. So I think that he does need more reps down the stretch. I think the Vikings potentially being in a resting the veteran situation and having some of the young guys play, I think this will be really great. And I think that he'll round into a hell of a player for the Vikings in the next couple of years. I think before his rookie deal is done, I think at minimum he'll be a solid rotational piece. Maybe he'll become a starter if the Vikings stick with the 3-4. I think that he would be a solid 5-tech going forward. Next up, number 2, start Duke Shelley. So, defense coordinator Ed Donatel wouldn't say if he's going to start Duke Shelley or Cameron Tiny Dantzler. Dantzler was active but didn't play a down against the Colts because he had an illness. And Tiny Dantzler has been great this year. He is coming back off that ankle injury, but Duke Shelley, whenever he's been in, he makes big plays and he can play press man, and he was just all over the place against the Colts. 42.4 quarterback rating when thrown at. He's had 6 passes broken up this season, 73.8 PFF coverage grade, also making big tackles, stopping Pittman short of the first down, line of gain, and basically whenever it's in the red zone or end zone, Duke Shelley's going to make a play. Duke says go. That's right, man. I think the Vikings, for a player who was waived by the Bears because of regime change, didn't really fit in with the new Eberflus toilet defense, and then all of a sudden he's rising up and getting some starter level snaps. I think that they need to roll with him. I think that Duke Shelley and Patrick Peterson make a nice combo on the outside, and even though Shelley's 5'9", $180, he doesn't fit in with the motif the Vikings have of length at cornerback on the outside. Don't care. Like, if you can make plays, you can make plays. Get him out there. Next up, bold proclamation number 3. Oh, then went to number 4. KJ is the Vikings wide receiver 2. Now, as much reverence and respect that as I have for Adam Jerome, Ezekiel Thielen, he's done amazing stuff in the community. Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. He's going to be a future Ring of Honor guy. The Pride of Detroit Lakes, Mankato State University Community College. It's right there. It's KJ's time. It is KJ's time, and the Vikings absolutely knocked it out of the park with 2 of the receivers in the 2020 draft. You had Jefferson in the first round, and then you had KJ Osborn later on. So KJ this year, 45 catches for 457, 4 touchdowns, 73 targets. Also put up 10 catches, $157, and a touchdown versus the Colts. Really got this offense going. KJ was the guy who was fighting through. He had that dog in him, and he was the one who really sparked the Vikings comeback. And the thing I love about KJ is he had a very down rookie year in 2020. Didn't play on offense, was benched thrice as a returner. 2021 had a nice little mini breakout, and he's really he does have the trust of Kirk Cousins, especially on third down, especially in the red zone, especially in clutch time. And KJ, KJ easily could have complained like a lot of young receivers in this league. Sometimes if they're not getting the ball, they complain or they request a trade or they're cryptic on social media. If you check out KJ's social media every day, it's motivational stuff, it's inspirational stuff, and I think that it has greatly been helping him, right? So he never complained, he never asked for a trade, he always put the team first. He did whatever the team asked him to do, and now he's getting his opportunity, and he needs to have more of it. Because I still think that Thielen has some good tread left on the tire, but KJ is just that guy. I think KJ can legitimately be the Robin to Justin Jefferson's Batman. I think KJ can be a perennial 1,000-yard receiver. I truly believe that. Next up, number 4. Speaking of JJ is top 3 in the MVP race, and he's not 3, right? And in no particular order, I got Jefferson, I got Mahomes, I got Jalen Hurts, although his shoulder injury missing the next 3 games is going to impact his candidacy, Josh Allen, as well as Joe Burrow. Those are the top 5 MVP candidates. And again, what does MVP mean? Most valuable player. Take Justin Jefferson away from the Vikings, they're a 3-11 team as opposed to an 11-3 team. Maybe. And Jefferson, everyone knows he's going to get the ball, and he is still amazing. He still has a chance at 2,000 yards. He's leading the league in receiving, and he's just been an absolute dynamic weapon in this offense that we knew that he would be when Kevin O'Connell was hired. So, I mean, JJ, he deserves, especially, so it's tough for a wide receiver to get MVP love because the quarterback is throwing him the ball, and it's a quarterback award, so generally his QB would get some MVP love and maybe split some votes, but they're never going to give the time of day to Kirk Cousins. Never. Ever. And it's a perfect spot for Justin Jefferson because I think that he is going to get 2K. I think the Vikings are going to win out. I think they'll finish 14-3. I think that they'll maybe have a shot at the 1 seed, depending on what happens with the Eagles. But you can't ignore his production. You simply cannot. He's having a historic wide receiver season, and he's only going to get better, by the way. Like I think at some point, Justin Jefferson will win the MVP, be the first receiver to do so. Lastly, number 5, this defense can be Super Bowl caliber. It can. Now, there's no such thing as a shutdown defense anymore. There simply is not with today's NFL, with all the rules and all the whatever. But the Vikings defense against the Colts, especially in that second half, especially when they needed it, they got aggressive. They played man. They played single high. They had some more exotic blitzes. They were sending linebackers. They were sending corners and safeties. They were just really getting heat on Matt Ryan, and you saw how he folded in the second half. 3 points allowed in the second half, 5 or 6 3-and-outs. Just absolutely insane what they did in that second half that really allowed the Vikings offense to go in there, short fields, put on a show. Sometimes they not so short fields, but the Vikings defense, they really stepped it up. And this defense can win a Super Bowl if they play this aggressive. Now, I'm going to put out a 40-40 rule. They got to play at least 40% press man. Throughout the season, they played around like 11-12%, and also they need to blitz on 40% of passing downs. They need to do that. 100% they need to do that. So just you can't sit back and just let life happen. You have to be aggressive. You got to take it to, because I love the defense that they brought. Well, first off, the first half defense was fine. They actually did pretty well limiting the Colts to multiple field goals. But the second half, out of desperation, when they needed stops, when they needed to get the ball back, guess what? It was amazing because they blitzed the hell out of Matt Ryan. They played press man. They were up on the wide receivers and coverage. They took the air out of it, and that's what it can be every single game. So they need to take that to heart, get rid of the Donna Shell, and just be freaking aggressive. And they'll see it against the Giants on Saturday because the Giants are the number 1 blitzing team in the National Football League. The Vikings need to stick with this because guess what? If you can get some sacks, if you can get a couple turnovers, you can get the ball to this offense, this team is going to be very dangerous. It's going to be very, very dangerous because this soft shell defense had given up multiple 400-yard games. That was going to be the downfall for the Vikings in the playoffs, and that was the big reason why people consider the Vikings pretenders. But if they can suture that up or at least be aggressive and give themselves a puncher's chance, sky's the limit, baby. Absolutely is. But that's it. That's 5 bold statements on the Minnesota Fighting Vikings. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Most support the work. Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.